Welcome, episode 8 now of the Creative Train podcast. And today we're going to deal with something a little bit off the normal beaten track of what I've been trying to keep focused on about inspiration for creativity, and talk a little bit about something that I know you all want. I know you've all dreamed about it, and I know you've all probably fallen victim to the bait at some point, and it's called The Secret. If you use social media at all, you found that the swell of advertisements directed at you changes from time to time. And whether this is the AI bots being updated or they just happen to notice a change in your online habits, you've all been witness to this in one way or another. When I set about creating Creative Train course material, I based it all 100% on my own experiences. Never once did I ask an AI for what I should include in my teaching courses, or how I should best support somebody who is looking for creativity coaches, or what are important questions to ask new clients. But somehow, these social media ad bots started directing dozens of ads my way on social media about people already doing what I've been ramping up to do. But they have a way of presenting it that I need to use their software or advertise on their platform because they have something special that I haven't thought about yet. And so how did this come to happen when I compose most of my scripting materials on my phone? I dictate them into my phone in the notes. When the next idea comes, you better be super quick to ground it immediately, even if that's using a crayon on a Kleenex box. Get your ideas down, write them down, record them, dictate them, whatever. That is probably one of the biggest failings I have ever had as a creative person, is to fail to ground my new ideas and inspirations. So how did they know what I'm up to? My guess is that somehow I've unwittingly given them permission to access the notes and audio recordings on my phone to be analyzed for possible mischievous behavior. I don't know, but I kind of gotta wonder why all these things are suddenly being directed at me. So anyway, back to the topic, The Secret. Every single one of these targeted ads seem to come bearing the fruits of the tree of wisdom and deliver unto you the tools that only somehow they can offer you. And it ranges from hacks on how to improve your guitar playing in 36 minutes to subscription software for making your own app, to secret marketing techniques that only 1% of the 1% know about. And I find it strange that in this day and age that we're in, and you have probably been bombarded with a lot of these ads over the time you've spent on social media, it's strange that the folks making these ads haven't changed their tack a little. Back in the early 2010s, these things began popping up in my news feeds about how to make serious money using simple email lists, or how to take advantage of growing trends that only this guy or that guy could show you for a price. Back in the day, the term MLM became the term to use, short for multi-level marketing. And it was kind of like the online version of Amway. Maybe you've not heard of Amway, but look it up if you haven't. The short story is the basic model revolved around a pyramid structure of bringing in underlings who would in turn become sales agents for sometimes dubious household products, and their subscription fees would trickle up the pyramid and become part of your net income, and so on, depending on how many more underlings were brought in. Now, this is a very generalized explanation of the model, and it's not the model I'm wanting to talk about here. It's the pitch. It's the super soft version and the in-your-face version. And especially the notion that someone holds a secret that will somehow unlock your creativity, give way to the flood of satisfaction that they will sell you. I actually got ambushed on 2 occasions with one of each of the Amway sales pitches, and they were both within a week. One was when I went to look at a potential investment property. And after touring the property and touring the house, the seller baited me into staying for a beer for almost 2 hours after he asked me if he could run a lecture model by me that he had been working on. And that was the soft sell approach. The more in-your-face version came in the form of a fella mentioning to me that his band was playing at a hotel lounge and asked if I'd like to come in and sit in for a set. So I agreed. I thought, hey, that'd be a cool night out. When I got there with my guitar in my hand, he said there was a really cool sounding conference that night in the hotel and that he was just given 2 free tickets to, and suggested that I would be missing out on something huge if I didn't take the tickets and go to the conference instead of playing with the band. So I took the tickets, went to the conference room, and it was an Amway sales convention. Super loud music, people screaming and chanting the presenters' names that were up on the stage. It was totally gross. I stayed for maybe 5 minutes and promptly exited. I went to the bar room where the band was supposed to be playing, and there was nothing. My friend was at the bar with his girlfriend, and he was just beaming with a sense of accomplishment that he got me to go there to the event when there was actually no band gig. He said he needed to make a few more recruits before his year end to get promoted up the pyramid, and he figured I'd come out if I was offered a gig instead of a ticket to a sales convention. Yep, he did that. And that was the last time I ever saw this guy. I never answered his calls or his emails again, and I honestly have no idea what he's doing now. The online version of this going on now baits the customer with some kind of special bonus, viewing of a top secret training session maybe, where the host just talks in circles around the issue that you were there hoping to have resolved by participating. They keep reminding you how stuck you are, how frustrated you must be, and then you keep waiting for some kind of pertinent information, something actionable, but it never usually comes. So the soft sell and the hard sell model is still alive and well. It just looks a little more slick now with animations and AI-generated soundtracks. Promises of success if you follow a certain model, or assurances you've already missed out on something if you haven't clicked their subscribe button yet. I've tried a few of these things out of curiosity, out of professional curiosity. And in each one, I had to set up a specific time to watch a live coaching session, which was actually pre-recorded and really poorly scripted. Another one wanted my phone number so we could have a conversation to discuss my goals. I thought that was kind of unique, so I put my phone number in. And at the agreed time for the call, a seemingly random string of numbers and letters showed up in the caller ID, and its origin simply said, Russia. I immediately declined the call and emailed the guy. And I said, I'm not accepting a call from random number in Russia from a guy who says he actually lives in New York City. And he seemed to think this was an overreaction on my part, but I never heard back from him. This long story made somewhat short comes back to this secret thing you've been missing out on. But what if I told you there is no secret? What if I told you you actually have to practice to get better at something? What if I told you there's no such thing as a 36-minute hack to unlock the mastery of your instrument? And what if I told you that your intuition is your most valuable tool, and that given enough focused time and practice and effort, you can master those things you want to master by doing it? I've made courses for creators and educators, and I'm also conducting one-on-one coaching sessions by phone and online. But what I don't do, and I won't never do, is try to tell someone that I can do something for them that no one else can. I don't have any secrets because there aren't any secrets in the world of creativity, regardless of what your discipline is. What I do give people are things to think about, show them things they maybe hadn't thought about yet, or point out things they could or should try or do. And if I spend some time with someone talking and doing these things, and they get enough out of that to satisfy their needs at the time, then that is a success in my book. Usually, all it takes is some guidance to maybe say things in a different way than they've heard before. But trust me, there are no secrets, no matter what the shiny people in the internet ads say to the contrary. Having seen so many of these courses and offers come across my social media stuff has really helped me to better define and refine exactly what it is I want to do with Creative Train. My main goal is to let you into this creator's world and poke around for a bit. Ask some questions from someone who's made a living in the arts for more than 30 years. I'll never say I have all the answers or that I have some secret method, but I do have a lot of answers, and I may be able to deliver those answers in a way that finally helps you break through some blockages or impediments, whether they be something technical, emotional, spiritual, or to do with how to stay motivated and inspired to create. All aboard? And there you have it. The secret you've been wanting to have all this time. And the secret is that there is no secret. You have to do the work. I thank you for listening all the way to the end and hearing the background sound of my phone buzzing on the couch behind me or my little dog stretching on the carpet. I think it makes it a little more homey, a little more personal. We're not about clinical stuff here. So there's your pep talk. Now go get to work.